Hey everybody, it's Retro Gaming now, and I'm going to be playing Kerbal Space Program. I just love this game. Basically what this game is, well, first of all, it's an early access game, so it's slowly in development, kind of like next car game. And the way it works is you just build rockets and then shoot them up, and try and land on the moon and stuff. It's very simple, and very, very difficult to learn, to master, basically. And I've played this game before, and it's been a while since I've actually done it. So we're gonna make a new game. Like, they've had several updates since I've started playing. Career is one of these new things. I'm just gonna do sandbox for right now. Let's pick a flag. We'll just do capsule for now. We'll just do the default. I kinda like that. And so we're just going to go through this and see how things have changed and try things out, and I'll sort of show you what's going on as I'm doing this, in case you don't know. So things are already different. We've got this sort of like complex here. This factory is closed, research and development. Over here we've got what looks like a bunch of people. Kerbals. Courage and stupidity. Alright, let's get out of here. Basically we want to build rockets. Over here is the spaceplane hangar, and over here is the rocket center, I believe. So I've already done this before. I know more or less what I'm doing. Obviously, though, not all of it. So we're just going to try and build a standard rocket. Send up in the Kerbal Space Territory. So what we've got here is our command module, and so every one of these rockets every rocket has to have one of these. It's where your Kerbals are, or where your satellite is if you're going to launch a satellite up. I think they even have space stations now. So Stay Putnik Mark 1. Yeah, there you go. So we're going to try and send some guys up into space. And knowing how these things generally go, it might not last long. So, looks like I've installed some mods before, and I don't know if any of these still work. I'm just going to try and avoid using mods. I did some sort of airplane mod or something. Let's see if anything is different. Subassemblies. So, it looks like we can save subassemblies. That would be really nice now. But we're just going to try and build a sort of basic. I'm not going to put too much thought into it. Sort of throw it together. So, this is a new fuel tank. This is a new fuel engine cluster. I've never played those. Let's look around. Let's see what we want to fire our thing up. I'm thinking we want to use... I don't know. Let's try something. Let's try this tank. Oh, this is big. Oh, boy. Wow. That's new. You know what? Why not? This thing. Oh, man. Ridiculous. Wow. That is certainly new. Okay, so actually what we need to do is get a decoupler. So that's going to be under structural. And we need a decoupler. So what a decoupler does is you have your sort of launch thing over here. So whenever I click spacebar, it goes to the next thing. You can use these to launch rockets or decouple. And what decoupler does is when I hit this button, it'll separate from the command module, and the command module will be on its own. So you can do multiple stage rockets. You can do very complicated stuff with it. But for now, we're just going to do a basic thing. So this is the order. We want... which order is it? I think it starts with 0. So we'll start with our rocket, and then decouple this guy. So we're just going to build something basic. What I want to do is try out this huge thing. Like, that's ridiculous. Aerodynamic, we're going to need some fins. This is what we want. And over here, if you can see, we've got symmetry mode, so we can do it in different symmetrical ways. I think we're going to do 6. Hopefully that'll be good. And we'll do a set of smaller ones up top. And then we'll rotate these a little bit. No, we don't want that. We want that. There we go. And finally, we need a parachute. Utility. Is there anything new? Batteries. These might be from a mod. I'm not sure. I think these are from a mod. I'm gonna have to get rid of my mods at some point. But what we really need is a parachute. It's a bit big, so that our guys hopefully can survive. So you can see we can move this around, move the parachute down here, and send that up. There we go. So what are we going to name this? We'll call it Kerbal 1. Alright, so let's save this guy. I'll show you how a launch works. Take this out to the launch pad. And so we've got here, up here we can do time warp. And we've got R for rocket control system and T for SAS. I actually don't have either of these on right now, so this isn't going to do anything. But let's just sort of show you how this works. So this is, I believe, liquid fuel, and so the throttle, it can be adjusted by a throttle. So we'll turn the throttle up, hit the launch button, and see what happens. In 3, 2, 1. Alright, so we have liftoff. Wow, this thing has a ton of fuel. This is ridiculous. So we're flying relatively straight. Oh, you see we're overheating a little bit. We're going to have to reduce our fuel consumption. So liquid engines can overheat. Solid engines can't because there's no throttle control. They're always at max power. So we hit the map, we can see where we are. This is our apoapse, where we'll go and then eventually fall back down. So let's see what we're doing here. I don't really want to change the time until we're not thrusting, because previous versions of Kerbal, that didn't work so well. And maybe they fixed it, and maybe not. So it's tough to say. So, how high do we want to be before we try and turn and go into orbit? You can see most of our energy is used trying to get out of the atmosphere. In fact, I think I'm going to start and rotate this guy a little bit. So hit T, and that should try and stabilize it. So you can see what happens is, this shows where we're going to be based on our energy. So our acceleration is what causes this to change. And we're almost out of liquid fuel. So we're going to make a very long sort of arc and then land. So you can see we're out of liquid fuel. I will hit that to decouple. That is gone. And here goes our Kerbals. If we go EVA, EVA, we can do a spacewalk. I don't know how to control these guys, actually. I probably shouldn't be doing this. We'll figure that out later. IVA, you can see inside. Unfortunately, we get a very small view on the inside of our cockpit. Oops. How do I get out of here, actually? We can go to the map. So you can see what we've done is we've done enough energy to go woo, but we're going to go out, and we're not going to land anywhere. Certainly not going to get to the moon. So you can see there's orbitings, there's a couple celestial bodies. There's the moon, and there's Minmus. And this is Kerbin here, and if we zoom out, Kerbin is rotating the sun, orbiting the sun, that's the word. If you look here, we've got some of these unknown objects, which is not something... This is something that's new. I've never seen this before. So, if we can ever get this to work, maybe we can see what those are. So how do I get out of here? V, maybe? There we go, C, that's what it is. So I'm going to go and accelerate time a little bit. So you can see we're going to follow our arc. You can see our speed. We're going to slow down, and then at a point we're going to stop. And then the acceleration due to gravity is going to kick in. So I'm going to slow this down, and then when we're at the farthest point from Kerbin, I'll show you. So we're still traveling away from Kerbin right now, but we are getting progressively slower. If you look at this, slowly... Oh, we've already gone over the apoapse. Never mind. So now we're going towards Kerbin. Nonetheless, we are still very far away from it. How far away is 2 million meters. And we're going to start falling back towards it. So we'll speed this up quite a bit. And we'll slowly head back down. And then hopefully our parachute works. So you can see our atmosphere. We're going to start to get close to it. We're now approaching Kerbin, and our atmosphere is going to slowly start to increase as we have more and more air resistance, and that's going to eventually slow us down to a terminal velocity. So you can see the heat being released because of the friction as we're slowly getting closer and closer. Now, it's a bit tough to tell how far up we are sometimes. So I'm going to wait till we slow considerably down and then deploy our parachute, because our parachute can pop if we deploy it too soon. And if we deploy it too late, well, it's bye-bye for Mr. Jebediah Kerman. So we're getting closer. We're on one of the poles. You can see we got this up here, but this is above sea level. This could potentially be above sea level. We don't know. I'm going to go and deploy the parachutes. Just slow down a little bit more, and it'll deploy there. Let's go. Time work 4 times as we slowly and gently float to the Earth. Or to the Kerbal. That's what it is. So this can take a while. I mean, it is. Let's just see what it looks like in here. Man, I should have picked a cockpit with more of a window. I'm not sure how he sees anything, even drives. And here we are. It's going to look like we were very close to sea level. We're only 29 meters above. Look at our map. Let's see where we are. We're on the, looks like North Pole, I want to say. Yeah, that's the North Pole. It locks our view there. Pretty far away from our space base. Where is our space base, actually? That is a good question. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Looks like it's glitching out a little bit with the apoapse. Oh yeah, glitching out is the word. Must think our velocity is not 0. Anyway, there we are. Our first launch was successful. Now, I have played this game before, so I guarantee in almost all cases your first launch is not successful. It blows up in the atmosphere. Or it just crashes. I tried to do far too many rockets on it at once was sort of my issue. You can see time actually goes along, and it's night now on our Space Center. We can actually change time here, but that's not going to do anything. This is actually a really nice feature, being able to change time. So you can see we're rotating, and the sky is rotating, it looks like, because Kerbin is rotating. This is actually a really nice feature, because some of the future things you gotta do, like shooting to get to the moon or Minmus, you actually need to time it right. You have to time it when the moon is in a certain specific position in relation to Kerbin. So, this was a success, I would say. Let's make it better. I'm going to add a second rocket set so that once we get this guy up there, we can hopefully get enough propulsion to get into orbit. So we need... well, obviously we can't put a second one of those. So this here used to be the biggest fuel tank. This thing is just massive. It's ridiculous. So maybe one of... no, that's too big. Nope. So let's try... we need something small like this. No, it's RCS. I'm sure we've got something. Basically what I need like this is just like that, but smaller. I think this is really small. Yeah, it's really small. Yeah, that'll work. these, which is that. Oops, I'm going to lock this on here. First we need a decoupler. So we need structural. And then find our stack decoupler. Click, click. And now we need a propulsion. And any of these really should work. I don't really know if there's a better one or not. I'll try that. Alright, so there's that. Click, and there is that. So, we need to figure out the order here. So first will be this bottom rocket. Then will be this decoupler. So we need another one of these. Put this decoupler here. Put this down. So bottom rocket, this decoupler, this rocket, this decoupler, parachute. So hopefully that'll work. I wonder if I should put some solid fuel on. It's gonna get pretty heavy, I think. But we can try some. Why not? So to do this, we're gonna want to use. Actually, no, we'll not use this. No, I'll do that right now. Call this Kerbal to save that and launch it. Hopefully we can get to orbit this time. And we might have been able to get to orbit if I drove the other one better, but so turn our throttle up, not all the way, because it overheats, and lift off. Yeah, this is not going to be too much weight. You can see this gives us more than enough thrust with this huge engine out here. We didn't have this engine when I played this game last. It's ridiculous. I mean, alright. Yeah, so I was never actually able to do a moon landing. Oh, we're overeating a little bit. I was able to orbit the moon once. A couple times. Actually, maybe twice. And then I crashed on the moon both times, trying to land. So you know what? Landing is tough in this game. And hopefully we'll get to a point at some point where we can actually do that. Really quick, let's just look where we are. Whoops. In relation. So you can see it's just up north a little bit. So you can see we are losing fuel at a slightly faster rate, or we're not getting quite as much return for it because we do have more weight up top. Hopefully, though, this fuel that we have can get us into a position where we'll be able to get into orbit. As you can see, this slowly goes faster as we gain acceleration. So our acceleration is basically limited by the atmosphere. And, you know, the more atmosphere you have, the harder it is to accelerate. So most of our energy is actually burned in the atmosphere. So we want to be entirely out of the atmosphere, which is why we're slightly at an angle. And looks like we'll make it just in time. So we'll drop that, and then launch this one. We'll reduce it a little bit. Alright, so we want to aim down a little bit. A lot, actually. And hopefully we can actually make an orbit here. We want to aim down. Oh, we're almost out of fuel. Shoot. Well, there goes that. How close did we get? Not very. It was more but just bad driving. Look how far away from the planet we're gonna go. Basically, my issue was I drove the thing wrong. So, let's just take it out here. Look at the view. Alright, slowly inching towards it. And it's going to slow down as we get closer to it, is the thing. And there we are. So we'll go to single time here. We're very close to it. There it is. It's actually starting to get pretty far away. Can we find the moon or Minmus? Well, I don't see why not. Let's see where we are in relation to it. So they're going to be straight down. So if we're looking straight down, you can see it, and there it is right there. There's the moon. The Minmus will also be there. Basically, we're looking at the orbit. The moons orbit like this. around the planet where we are. From our perspective, they orbit like this. Yeah, I'm not seeing the other one. So this is the furthest a Kerbal has ever been from Kerman. Was 17 million. Our last Apoaps was 2 million. So obviously we're pretty far. Let's just speed up time and then reapproach. So it looks like we are going to miss the land, unfortunately. That's okay. Just have an ocean splash down. You can see it's night. So we're going to accelerate things. We're going to slow down. The nice thing is we can accurately use this because this is ocean. This is above the ocean, and that's the ocean right there. So we're going to slow down for. We'll do it at 2,000. Deploy. 80, 70, 60. And looks like it popped. Shoot. Deployed it too early. And we lost him. That's a shame. Bill Kerman was killed. Yeah. Well. Alright, well at least our rocket was a partial success. I'll tell you. Tell us that. How can we improve it more? Well, more fuel, I think, is the issue here. We certainly had a good chance to get to orbit, I think. We just blew it because we didn't have enough fuel up top. So maybe if I just load a couple more of these on. There we go. So we'll call this Kerbal 2 Mark II because it's not that different, honestly. Is there anything else we can put on it? I don't think so. Looks pretty good to me. One thing we can do is a stabilized start. We could try that. I'm not sure that's going to make a difference or not. But if we do structural launch stability enhancer, like 6 of these probably. Put this up here. We can launch from this, up a little bit. And it might make it more stable. Stability has not really been an issue, but it might be later. I mean, might as well just try to show you this cool feature of KSP. Alright, so let's save this guy and launch him. Like I was saying about my LPs, there's not going to be a lot of structure. And to some people, it's certainly going to feel repetitive and dull. But, you know, Kerbal Space Program is a ton of fun to play. I don't know if it's a ton of fun to watch, though. Whoops. How will we not... Okay, so it looks like I accidentally launched these before I launched the rockets. And, oh no. Well, deploy. Well, this guy is in the air now. We lost everything else, though. That's funny. Looks like he might actually survive this. But we've got nothing but our space, and we actually lost part of it. I think we need fuel lines here, I think. Actually, so let's, well, shoot. Well, now it's out of control, I think. Oh, no, there we go. So, that was a disappointing run. We got a total of 9,000 meters above. And then we're going to come back down virtually from where we started. But not, because of course we have to land in the ocean. So let's slow down. And see if we can save Mr. Bob Kerman. I think I need to fire earlier than 2 is what I said. Or later than 2. Fire 900. Yep. So he should survive. He will splash down in the cool ocean. Bob, you have survived. We're 2 for 3 now. 2 of our 3s have survived. I'm amazed that he actually survived, though. I'm amazed that that rocket really should have gone up. So wait for him to land. And then we'll try again. We'll adjust the launch order this time. Here he comes. Sploosh. Alright, good. Alright. I gotta throttle him down to go to Space Center. Right. Space Center. So the one issue we needed to do was just flip these two. Yeah. There we go. Save that, launch him. Maybe we can give a shout out to our friend who's 6.2 kilometers that direction. Alright. Much better. So one thing about throttle is you don't want to have it throttled up all the way when you're trying to break the atmosphere, because it's super inefficient. Because like I said, most of your energy is spent trying to get out of the atmosphere. And it just wastes so much fuel. So I believe 75 is about what you want to have it at. Also, I think I'm forgetting when I'm supposed to start my tilt. I'm going to try it right about there, right as we get to the dark blue level of atmosphere. So you can see we're about halfway through the first level of atmosphere and have used about a third of our fuel, a little bit more. But the thing is, as we go further, our speed gets higher and our acceleration continues to stay high. It's calculus, yo. Not really, but our jerk would be how we just this. Anyway. So you can see now we're a little bit more than a third, and we are progressing very quickly through the night sky. So I'm going to say when we get to a little bit less fuel than this, I'm going to start our rotation. I'm going to do that right there. Hopefully I didn't mess this up. Alright, so let's just power through. It's going to overheat, but this will be done before it actually does any difference. So we'll throttle this down. We should last longer. How are we doing? We might make this. We need to aim down more. There we go. Even more. The thing is, we're counteracting velocity that we already have, and so it's tough to quite get exactly where we want to go. Oh man, we're gonna escape. We're going way down here. See if we can. Whoa, no. Oh no. Alright. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna escape. Maybe we can check out one of these. That's possible. But we're gonna throttle all the way down and go till we escape Kerbin. And we will be orbiting the sun. Obviously, I am doing a very poor job of this. So now we are the furthest we have ever been, any Kerbal has ever been from Kerbin, because Kerbin is out there. And we are 13 million. 13 billion. That's 13 billion from the sun. So let's zoom out and see. Find one of these objects. Looks like we're not going to make it. Alright. Let's just view this in tracking station, see what this does. Class C objects are average size, 7 to 10 meter range and radius. Wow. 7 to 10 meter range and radius. That is tiny. I have no clue how we're going to make that. Let's go back to this guy. So notice we can actually exit it if we're throttled down and in space. So there's Kerbin. and we shall soon leave Kerbin forever. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to return this guy, I don't think. Let's get the farthest away from Kerbin possible. See if we can get close at all to these unknown objects, because I do want to see what they are. If it's possible. We don't have a lot of... Obviously not a lot of fuel left, or probably any, as far as it's going to make a difference. Let's see if we do, if these do converge on us. Oh, we're losing sight of them, it looks like. That one is close, though. Maybe. Nope, not at all. They're all way beneath us. They are very close to Kerbin, though. So if we could potentially get a lander up, out, to something like this. Let's go and tracking station. Let's see what we got here. Class E. Proper behemoths, no less than 18 meters in radius. They don't just look heavy, they are in fact more massive than it would seem. Is there a way to track it? Last seen, yeah. Is there a way to make it? Ooh, bases. I wonder if there's a way to put a base on a planet. That would be super cool, seeing as I've never even landed on anything. It would be so cool to have a base. Wow, that would be great. So training is not working. I'm just gonna go check out and show you guys what space planes are. I've never actually gotten a successful space plane, so we're just gonna open up one of these stock planes. Open. Alright, let's launch this guy. And hopefully they have fixed the issue. We're gonna find out pretty soon. You know what? Let's do it this way. Alright. Oh, nope. I'm going to do it this way so I know when to take off. So I'm going to slowly hit down. Open up. Come on. Oh, no. Oh, no. So... well, we lost our back propulsion rocket, but we're actually still going. So let's see how far we can go. That's a shame, actually. So you can see we got the standard rotation as any sort of flight simulator. Let's just fly this little guy around. It's tough to turn, though. And I can see I'm a bit rotated here. I'm going to pull this guy up. I don't want to crash, but I do want to head on over to this island, because I know there's something over here. At least there was previously. So we're going to... Hopefully my plane doesn't spin out of control. The thing was, velocity would get a little bit wonky when we accelerated. And the plane would, like, spin out. Crash. But so far it looks like we're doing okay. We're gaining height a little bit, but that's better than losing it by a lot. A lot better than losing it. So we're getting closer and closer, and you can see there's actually something there. So when we get a little bit closer, we're going to shift actually back to 1 times, back to cockpit. We're going to aim ourselves down towards it. Alright. Accelerate this. Don't get too close to it. Still want to stay within range a little bit. Let's see if I can land. Yeah, like I told you, landing was... Whoa, not map. Landing was hard on rockets. It's especially hard on planes. So we're going to reduce our throttle just a little bit. A lot, actually. Right, head down, and we're a bit low. So let's see if we can fix that in time. Oh no. Slow down, slow down. Alright. Shh. Okay. Yeah. I tried to land. That didn't work. super well. But as you can see, we got a little base over here. Nice, nice thing. I want to learn how to land a plane, but it's still a bit finicky. So yeah, it's a cool little thing. I like how they added another base just over here so you can sort of practice. But I do think there are actually other things on this planet, if I remember right, like hidden bases and stuff to find. I think there was like a Soviet base to find, like a Soviet Kerbal base. But we'll get to that later. I mean, if I can ever build a plane that's capable of getting this far, or figure out how to land a rocket there, I'll be able to do it. So anyway, it's been Retro Gaming Now, and I've been playing Kerbal Space Program. Really fun. I love this game. And like I said before, my LP will be a little bit sporadic, but you know, as always, if you enjoyed, I certainly enjoyed. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye from Kerbin.